Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Marvel Legends Captain America Brave New World Falcon. Ciao and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are continuing to check out the brand new Marvel Legends from the Captain America Brave New World movie due out in February 2025. So not long now, but instead of the traditional Build-A-Figure wave we would usually get to accompany a movie release, this time round Hasbro have given us 3 deluxe offerings to better represent some of the key characters, including Red Hulk and Captain America, who I have already reviewed on the channel. Today we're checking out the brand new Falcon. As every good hero needs a sidekick, and if you watch the Disney Plus series, you know at the end of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Sam handed off his old wings to a new character, and I really like the comic-inspired colour palette here for the new Falcon. So there he is in the packaging, 2 interchangeable heads, a little red wing, and of course his wings most importantly to make it a deluxe offering. We get the Captain America logo, the shield up top, there he is on the side, another digital render on the back, and then a write-up that says a former lieutenant in the US Air Force, Joaquin Torres, has picked up Sam's old wings to take on the role as Falcon. So without further ado, let's get them open. Here we have our new Falcon out of the packaging with all of his accessories laid out on the table. Now in the packaging he does actually come with his second backpack already on. So just like Captain America, he has 2 backpacks. One for the wings to be attached and the other one for the wings retracted. So I do appreciate that display option. Also the wings are not just repainted Captain America wings. These are uniquely tooled and sculpted for our new Falcon. So it's a unique design. These wings even have the nice handles on for him to hold. So I like that. So let me move them to the side and get the tape measure out so we can see that our new Falcon stands at just under 6.5 inches. And like always, these MCU figures do get a little bit extra love as I think this is completely new. Obviously double jointed, pinless, lots of nice texturing on this guy. And yeah, brand new. I don't see any reuse on this at all. Let me just bring in the new Captain America so you can see him standing side by side. With his helmet on, it does seem like Ramirez is a little bit taller. But it is nice to see Sam Wilson with his very own sidekick as we get into this new movie. As I said, I'm intrigued. But anyway, let me put that to the side. And he does have 2 helmeted head sculpts. So let's zoom in and take a closer look. Now, I believe I just called him Ramirez, and that's because Danny Ramirez is the actor that plays Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon. And in regards to the likeness, it's really hard to tell because his face is so obscured with the helmet. Now, the helmet does have a nice translucent visor, so you can definitely see some eyes behind that sort of green translucent plastic. But again, you can't tell if the likeness is there or not. But I do like that you can subtly see the eyes from the right angle. So there's definitely a man behind that helmet. And just like Sam, he has some pipe work on the side. And the helmet does have some different shades of grey with the sort of green outlines. And yeah, it's a nice looking helmet. Again, this comic design, this MCU design is inspired by the colours in the comic at least. So there is his tactical helmet, which should pair up nicely with Sam when they are soaring in the skies together. But we also get this second head sculpt where his face is a little bit more exposed. And I do actually think the likeness is there to Danny Ramirez, the actor, but it's just obviously obscured still by the visor. It would have been nice to have an option without any helmet at all, but I'm assuming these 2 are his primary looks from the movie. So yeah, again, you can see the eyes better on this helmet. Now it's not so covered with the face. But yeah, I do think they're using the digital face printing tech even under the visor there as well. So very nice detail. But just like the other helmet, it has the green highlights, the translucent plastic, and then the same sort of design with the gunmetal greys and the chromes. And yeah, so you have your options now for both helmets. So you can have your helmet fully on, ready for battle in the skies, or remove the oxygen mask and reveal some more of that face. But it's nice to have options. Let me know your favourite in the comments. So let's take a look at the rest of the details on this flight suit, because I genuinely believe it's all new. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments, but we've got the double jointed pinless elbows, double jointed pinless knees with lots of nice texturing and layers and sculpting throughout this whole design, which I really like. I love adding new characters to the collection. World building is very important, so I'm glad that if this guy's getting some more spotlight in the movie, we now have him in figure form for that representation. So you get the green up on the shoulder pads, and that's more of a flat green compared to the metallic green on the chest and on the belt. All of this brown has some nice sort of texture into it as well. You've got the gauntlets done in more of a sort of chromish with a little bit of red there too. I like the stripes underneath in the green that go underneath the arm, and again the ab crunch is hidden nicely within the texturing and the costume design, so you get a nice crunch forward, but what's more impressive is the crunch back. Like, look at that, nearly a 90-degree crunch back, which will really help with those flying poses. So when his wings are on, I have no doubt you're going to be able to get him in some great poses due to that crunch. So great range there, and you've still got your standard shoulders going up, bicep swivel, and as I said, double jointed pinless elbows. You've got a nice elbow pad there as well, done in that same green. So yeah, lots of texture, and even on the back there's nice some texture in. And then you've got the flight trousers done in brown, going down to the green boots with a bit more brown at the bottom as well. Again, all very nicely sculpted, lots of detail in there. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. And as I mentioned, 2 fisted hands out of the packaging, and we also get these gripping hands with the brown gloves so we can hold onto his wings handle, which I will show you shortly. But while we're still zoomed in, I just want to say there is a swivel at the waist. That belt is a separate piece. Of course, he still has his thigh cut. The legs go up pretty far, double jointed, pinless knees, ankle pivot, and rocker. So yeah, standard Marvel Legends range, etc. This guy's going to look great all posed up. On the back you have the peg hole, and as I said, he has 2 backpacks. So one of them is retracted wings like so, and that's got some nice details with the red, and I think that is a red wing, maybe like retracted, because we do get a red wing accessory which is a little bit different to Sam's, which is grey with the red detail. Again, there's no hole on the bottom for it to plug into any type of translucent piece, but it's a nice accessory you can at least hold on your display. But there is our retracted wings. Now let's build his actual ones. So Torres's wings are a little bit more simple, not as many pieces and segments as Sam Wilson's. As you can see here, you have the 2 points of articulation rather than the 3 like Sam's wings, but I like the green, the black, and then the chrome as well. And you can see these little handles, and it would have been nice to have some dry brush against all of this sort of mechanical detail, because the sculpt work is clearly there, it is just lacking in paint, unfortunately. But yeah, some nice sculpting there. A dry brush would have really brought that detail out. But let's put the wings down for a second. It's easy to get these the right way around because you need the handles facing forward. So there's the backpack. Let's spin that round, and then like you get those cogs, and they just clip in like so, like that. Again, they have the ratchets in as well, which will allow you to articulate them around. Spin that around, and there we have the wings. Let's add them on to Torres. Pow! And here we have our new MCU Falcon with his wings attached, holding onto those handles as well, genuinely looking really nice. Now his comic character counterpart is a little bit different, but they have gone with the same comic inspired color palette with the greens and browns, so I do appreciate that little wink and nod. Now his wingspan isn't as long as Sam's, but there's no shame in that if you're a little bit shorter. His are about maybe 13 and a half, 14 at a stretch if I move his arms more, where Sam's were about 17 if I remember correctly. But again, completely different wings, and Falcon's wings have more of a curvature to them as well. And to the top of the wings from the side, you can see they're about 7.5 inches as well. But again, genuinely looks really, really nice here. If I spin it around onto the back, you can see some more of that sculpted detail I was mentioning, just lacking the paint, which is a shame because the sculpted detail is definitely there. But yeah, this looks good. Let me zoom in a bit more. So there is the handle inside the hand. Now, honestly, I do wish the handle had a tighter grip for the hand, but maybe they have left it a little bit soft so it allows you to repose him so easily without fear of breaking it. So yeah, that handle is a softer plastic, and you just simply place it into the gripped hand like so, and it absolutely works for posing and display, no problem at all. And that's both hands as well. And again, nice articulation on the wings, and yeah, you get those 2 segments there. So again, a little bit different to Sam's, but I do like the handle to give him that sort of unique character trait. And if I zoom out and articulate that ab crunch up, it gives you some great posing options for our new Falcon. Now, as always, these MCU figures will depend on the movie. If the movie's good, people will look at these figures in a different light as they seek that representation in plastic. But if the movie isn't good, then these figures will unfortunately get overlooked. But just looking at them now, before seeing the movie, I think subjectively they look great and definitely represent these characters well, based off what we have seen in the trailer so far. But I know a lot of people are not fans of the MCU at the minute, which is a shame because this is a great looking figure. And before we move on, just wanted to remind you that there are 2 points of articulation in the wings, so a little bit different to Sam's, but they will sort of fold over and at least half cover him. But I wanted to remind you of the ratchet, so you can pose it the wings up and they will hold their position, or pose them down like so. So again, pose the wings how you want, and then you just get the hand to match up with the handle, and again he will look really, really nice. And just one more pose, I've articulated the wings down a little bit, folded them in on themselves, and yeah, this is fun, honestly, and that's what action figures should be. They should be fun representations of the things we love, and I love adding new characters to the shelf. So yeah, definitely gonna have to find a spot for our new Joaquin Torres, our new MCU Falcon. So let me try and do a comparison of our new Falcon and Captain America with the wings attached. Now, Cap's wings are a little bit thicker, a little bit more impressive, but I like how both of these are different. There isn't just the same wings repainted green. They're both unique sculpting, both have their own flavor. I like how Torres has his handles as well. And yeah, these two are going to look great posed up together on the shelf, undoubtedly, especially if you can display them somehow flying above the rest of your collection. But yeah, these two are looking really good. And then from the back as well, you can see you've got the backpack and the shield. And yeah, the wingspan on Cap is a little bit bigger, but both very similar at the same time. Honestly, these are really, really nice figures. I know Red Hulk in this wave was a bit of a disappointment, but I assure you, these two are great. So these are the ones you don't want to miss out on. And here we have all three of the Marvel Legend offerings from the new Captain America Brave New World movie, with Captain America, Red Hulk, and the new Falcon. Now, we know Red Hulk is unfortunately the letdown of the wave due to no Harrison Ford likeness, but it is still an imposing Red Hulk figure that stands massive compared to these two on my table. Cap and Falcon are the highlights for me. All three of these figures would benefit from extra butterfly joint, but what we've got is still really nice as well. And there are still more characters from that movie we could potentially get in the Marvel Legends line. They're yet to show us the leader in the trailer, so maybe they're holding off on a Marvel Legends somewhere, and I'm sure there's other supporting characters we're going to want after we've seen the film. But right now, this is what we've got, and yeah, they look great together. Is there anyone else out there that would take a President General Thunderbolt Ross? Just an old man Han Solo head on a suited body. I'm sure it is that easy. But the likeness undoubtedly will be better than Red Hulk. Let me move him out the way so we can take a look at Sam and Torres close up. So we've got Sam holding the shield. Torres is holding Red Wing, but these two, again, I keep saying it, but they do look good together. I'm an MCU guy though. I always appreciate forever adding new characters to the shelf, world building as we move through these phases. So yeah, I just hope that the movie's good, please. This is a bit of an irrelevant comparison because that's the Sam Wilson comic Falcon. We don't actually have any figures of the second Falcon, which is Joaquin Torres, because he's relatively new. So there is no Marvel Legend version of that Falcon. Here's some MCU characters that he might bump into. It is, of course, Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Now, that's the Endgame Hulk. We definitely need a smart Hulk in the Marvel Legends line. And here we have some Phase 4 potential Avengers that he might bump into. We've got Doctor Strange, the Final Swing Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel. And there is likely going to be a scene at the start of the movie where these two are on a mission in this combination of outfits with the Disney Plus version of the Sam Wilson outfit. And again, these two look great together as well. Now, someone has asked me to try the new heads on this old body, so I'm going to do it because I'm always nice to the comment section when you were nice to me. So there we go, new Sam Wilson head on the old body, and yes, it does work if you wanted to do that. There you go. Options. And not like anyone was going to, but you definitely can't use this as the new Falcon in your comic collection. It just doesn't work. The aesthetic is all wrong. But there we have Cap, Iron Man, and the leader. How did you get here? Let's wrap up with some of the Who crew. We've got Frogman, Tigra, and Hydra Bob. And then last but never least, we've got Festive, Captain Britain, and Hal, Fire, Hank. Final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Captain America Brave New World Joaquin Torres Falcon. Now, you know I say it all the time, but I genuinely enjoy adding new characters to our collection, forever world building the MCU. Now, I've said it 1,000 times, but I hope the movie is good. I have my fingers crossed, but this figure undoubtedly still looks like a solid representation of this new character. I love that he came as a deluxe offering, so we actually got his wings. If he didn't, he would have always felt incomplete. And I do think the likeness to where Danny Ramirez is there behind the visor, but it would have been nice to have a fully unmasked helmeted head as well. But I like what we've got, because you need to display him with his wings and all flying next to Sam in your collection. So a great addition to our phase 4 setup, that is for sure. I would have appreciated a tighter grip for those handles and maybe a butterfly joint, but I understand with these MCU figures they always sacrifice that extra bit of articulation for the overall aesthetics and sculpt of these molds. But again, it's all about finding that balance, isn't it? A character like this with those wings would have definitely benefited with some butterfly joints. But that's just a small critique. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, it genuinely depends on the movie now. If the movie is good, people will appreciate this figure a little bit more than they currently do. But I've had it in hand. It looks great next to Captain America. Check out all my other reviews on the channel. Find the playlist, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button. Hit all on the notification bell. Don't miss out on a video. And please hit that join button. Become a channel member. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on X at Dan Who Reviews. And I will, of course, see you on the next one.